Good evening, everyone. This is quite a change of scenery for sure. No doubt being here in a cemetery, which we'll get to in a moment, as well as the time of day. Normally, I'm posting in the early morning during a workout for two reasons. One, because I'm super motivated first thing in the morning, and because I get anxiety when I'm speaking and such. So it's better to post in the early morning when only a couple of us are online to see this live and to interact with me. But it's time to jump out of the little cage that I keep myself into, and time to really get out and get my speaking going on. So the reason I'm here, first and foremost, what are some goals, or what are your life aspirations that you have yet to attain? You should maybe write those down. Write down the reasonings why you haven't achieved these at all. What's holding you back? A lot of times, for a lot of us, it's fear. Fear will hold us back from a lot of things. I mean, I'm 40 now, and a lot of people don't believe that, but I'm 40. And like, I've wanted to be a public speaker, a motivational speaker for years, like pretty much my whole life, since Tony Robbins, back to when I was like 12 years old listening to him. It's funny how we will just let fear take control of us and stuff us into a box and just think it's okay just to be just another person, not really achieving our goals. And like everyone has different goals and aspirations. They're all put into us very early on in our lives, whether we find it or it stumbles into us, and we go from there. It sucks to waste away our time. We really need to chase it with everything that we've got, regardless of what people might say to us. I mean, it's so funny, I've had more put downs, especially in my early upbringing, than encouragement. And I surprised myself with where I am today. I surprised many others as well. But basically what I'm coming down to is when you take your goals and you never pursue them, you're essentially taking them to the grave with you. So when your time comes to pass and you'll be amongst these people here resting, your goals will be resting as well. That would just another wasted opportunity to make massive change in the world with something that you love and something that you're passionate about. I am here in the cemetery where my mom and my sister are laid. My mom, you can see right here, she's laid to rest, and my sister just over here. They both struggle with really harsh diseases. My mom struggled with breast cancer for 4 years. She fought it so hard. And she lasted a lot longer than most people thought she would for being her stature and for the stage that she was in. She was a tiny woman, about 5 feet tall and under 100 pounds for sure. But she was feisty and had a strong heart, and so she always had something to chase after and really she loved with everything she had and pushed everything that she had within her. And same with my sister. My sister April passed away at 32. She was only expected to live till she was 16. And she had the most stubborn resiliency in all of our family. That's why she was one of my heroes, like she was a great inspiration, because when someone tells you, well, you're only going to live to 16 at best, and she pushes to double it, I mean, that's amazing. And like, they were both very happy people despite their struggles. So kind of drew from that. I never really know if they're chasing their goals and such. Like, who knows what their goals could have been and whatnot because of their struggles. But the fact that they were happy to the very end, like, what we want to do is when our time comes to pass, we want to say, did we miss anything? Was there something that we should have done? Do we regret anything? I'm kind of getting to that point in my head where I'm just like, I'm kind of tired of just being anxious. I'm kind of tired of just kind of hiding and being introvert. I'm tired of wishing that I would have got my motivational speaking going or helping other people or just anything like that, right? So like, who knows, my day could come to pass tomorrow. We would never know. Like, your day could be whenever it happens, right? We really got to just push through. It doesn't matter what people think. I mean, to be honest, like, I didn't have the greatest start myself. I mean, I was raised in welfare. I was born on a farmhouse that's now condemned. So, I mean, that's an amazing beginning to begin with there. To an abusive father. We lived on welfare after that. And we moved on. My mom left him. I was bullied all through childhood, especially because we lived in the North End, so I was like one of the only white kids, so I definitely stuck out with the glowing red hair. Same thing when I got into sports. I thought sports would help to help make friends and whatnot, but I sucked. Like, let's be honest here, I sucked. I rode the bench in baseball, soccer, basketball, volleyball even. Like, I basically sucked at everything, but and I didn't really have much going for me, and I had that told to me by quite a few people, like coaches, parents, friends, bullies, you name it. And like, to a lot of people, I guess that would push them down, and we all respond differently to different things. So I'm happy that I kind of found my way, which is kind of funny because I was kind of settled in just being another nothing. up until basketball practice when I was 14 years old. It was my first year with varsity basketball. And I remember my coach stopping practice in the middle of the practice to yell, "Les, you are the worst rookie I've ever seen in my life." And for a split second, it just completely crushed me. But then there was a fire there. I'm just like, oh, no, you didn't say that. I was very embarrassed, and that was one of the most profound, embarrassing moments of my life. But that is what stoked the fire. And from that day on, I was like, I don't care if people judge me, And I know from over time, some of that's come back, and depending on the situation, like my motivational speaking, I've wanted to do this for years, but then I worry, how are people going to perceive this, or will I get made fun of, or who knows, right? Because I also have a speech impediment, which a lot of people don't know. I tend to stutter quite often. Almost every conversation that I have, I'll be stuttering, whether I'm pausing on a word, because I learn to grasp it as soon as I feel it coming on, or if I quickly change it to a different word, which gets me into some trouble because I'll use the wrong word. So I tend to cover it up pretty well, I think, considering I'm always chatting, especially at work and such. But coming right back to it, you've got to find that fire within yourself. We can't sit around on the couch all day. Even our kids, we're trying to inspire our kids, and this technology is just taking over their whole lives. They're sitting in front of screens, and they freak out if they don't have a screen. I tell them, I had a 12-inch black and white TV in my room, and that's when I was a teenager. And we had 4 channels. If you missed your show Saturday morning, you're going to wait a week to see it again, but it's not going to be the same show you saw. You'll never see that show again. They have everything at the tip of their finger. They can control everything, and yet they don't actually use that power to get themselves going and get a strong start going for them. Man, a little bit out of breath. Anxiety's kind of popping up there a bit. I had this all thought out in my head, but we stumble. But with my basketball, from that practice on, I worked feverishly. It helped me grow the balls to talk to the school caretaker, to let me into the school gym at 7 a.m. every morning before school would start, and I'd practice by myself. I wouldn't tell anybody. And then after school, I'd sneak in once everyone was gone, and I'd shoot around again until about 5. I'd spend the evenings and weekends and summer holidays on the outdoor courts and just really kind of honing my craft, because I never wanted to feel that way again. And over time, it was very funny because I switched schools because I realized that my hard work wasn't being noticed or being appreciated and being put into work. So I spent 2 years at that first school playing ball. And then I switched schools, and that same coach changed schools to coach the girls. And that was a second gear of motivation for me, because I'm just I now have a different coach, so I'll have some playing time. But now I really have to prove myself, because this guy's here now watching behind me. And, those who know me, my life became basketball. I became fairly good. I won Basketball Player of the Year award my senior year, and my first thing I did was go up to that first coach and said, "Not bad for the worst rookie you'd ever seen in your life, huh?" And he snickered and hugged me, and that meant a lot. And that really stoked the fire from there. I remember my 11 and 12 coach had asked me later on in my senior years, what do you want to do? What are you going to do after this, Les? Because I was very quiet in high school. Before sports, I was the quiet nerd. After sports or during sports, I was the quiet jock. I just kept to myself. I didn't know really how to talk to people, and my stutter was terrible back then. If a girl would come up to me and talk to me, just to say hi, I would stutter. It was so bad. I'm sure people noticed it then because I didn't know how to hide it. But so I'm speaking with the coach here, and he's like, "What are you going to do with your life, Les? What are you going to do after basketball?" Basketball was the end all be all of my life. And I'm just well, you know what? I'm going to go to the University of Winnipeg. I'm going to play for the Westmen like you did. And he laughed at me. Coaches are supposed to encourage, but he laughed at me. He's like, "Les, you're not smart enough. You can't. You're just not smart enough for university." So, proved him wrong. I ended up having to leave school for a year, though, after my mom passed. But I finished up, and then the following year, I went to university, and I'd actually torn ligaments in my ankle. So, it was a constant hobble if I wasn't taped up. I had spoken to the trainer behind the Westman coach's back, asking them to tape me up each practice for the training camp, so that the coach wouldn't know about it, because I should have been resting for a year. So I'm going all through training camp with a torn up ankle, and halfway through the training camp, I get poked in the eye by one of the players, and he no doubt went 2 or at least 1.5 sockets into my eye, and when he pulled it out, we heard a sound. Instant blood red. So that sucked. That kind of ended my basketball career, at least for that year. But it would turn out to be, you know. For that year, I was shelved because I couldn't finish the rest of training camp with my eye like that. So the last couple of days, I sat and just watched and spoke with the coach and whatnot. After training camp, he told me, well, I know about your ankle. Like, you can't play ball for us. You're not available to us this year. So he's like, go home, heal up, do your training, and we'll see you back next fall. So like, that was a huge confidence boost for me. And I was like, you're going to see me next fall, no doubt. Like, I'm going to be here. I'm going to be amazing for you. I'm going to work hard for you. And it just didn't come to be because I'd only saved enough money for that first year of university, so I couldn't afford to come back the next year with my scholarship. So that kind of sucked. But I kept on going from there. You know, I played a lot of years of men's league and whatnot. I got into marathon running. And again, it was another thing where people had counted me out. Like, I mean, marathon runners are really usually like thinner people, longer legs with great genes, they always call it, great genes. Same thing I was told in bodybuilding. Oh, you can't do anything, you don't have great genes, kind of thing. Because I was the only athlete in my family. Most of my family were just average body size. A lot of them were shorter. Other than me and my brother, over 6 feet tall. The rest were just under or more. And I got into marathon running, and I just really gave it my all because I didn't like finishing last. Finishing last sucked. And I ran, I believe it was 5 years of marathons, and I finished on the top, I think 98th percentile my final race, so that was really good. And I moved on to bodybuilding. Well, of course, I'd broken my back. I'd broken my back twice, actually. At the tail end of my marathon career, started my bodybuilding one. I did it 2 years apart from each other, 2009 and 2011. And the doctors told me, again, I was being counted out. The doctors go to me, they say, Les, you know what, your life's going to change now. You may not be able to walk properly. You just have to get used to it. You'll never run or play with your daughter, that's for sure. And my daughter was like a baby. Like, there's no way the doctor's telling me this. Like, she's just starting to walk herself. I'm like, no way in hell I'm not going to be able to run and play with my daughter. And he's like, well, I'm sorry, Les. Like, that's just the way things are. You have to get used to this. And again, fire was stoked. I'm like, okay, proving you wrong. Gave her hell in physio, and I got there. You know, like, I got to walking properly. It took about a year to get rid of the limp. And then I believe it was a year and a half before I could run again. So that was amazing once I can get that going. And the bodybuilding really helped. It kind of brought me around circle to basketball again because all of the strength training in my back and my core really tightened everything up so I could walk, run, jump, do the whole thing again. And I was right back in it. But I'm just like, well, I'm not going to play anymore just because, like, when I get excited, then I jump around lots and that messes up my back again. But what I'm really trying to get at, like, even bodybuilding I was finishing last the first couple of shows, and it really sucked because, like, again, everyone's like, why are you doing this? Oh, you're so small and you gotta use steroids and you gotta this and that, and you're just not gonna do it. You don't have the genes for it. And lo and behold, like, I walked away with a second place trophy a few years later, which was amazing. And that's all I really needed. I just needed to know that I'd put in the work and that I deserved something and I earned something. And it's kind of funny reflecting back, because as I'm telling Megan and whatnot, all the things that I've done and been through and such, it's like, I don't see it as big things. Like, it's awesome that someone is realizing that for me. Like, I'm always just like, well, you know, I'm that skinny little welfare kid, you know, in foster home, such and such. Like, no, like, you've done these amazing things. And I'm starting to look back and I'm like, you know what, like, I guess I kind of did some good stuff. Like, I'm kind of stubborn, but it kind of brings me around circle because, like, I want to encourage people. Like, I want to encourage you. Like, if you're sitting here watching this and you're not really sure where you're going or what's going on with your life and what to do, really, it's you can change your life in a heartbeat. You know, you really can. And all it takes is just waking up that one morning and jumping out of bed and getting going from there. It is the hardest and the easiest thing to do to get your life on the right track. You know, eat right, get in about 30 minutes of exercise. You can be a walk in the morning, you know, just getting out some fresh air as soon as you wake up. You know, it really starts you off in the right direction. We don't want to waste the life that we have. We don't want to waste the goals instilled in us. We don't want to waste every minute, every hour, every day of our lives, you know? Like, I mean, one day we're going to end up here, and what kind of stories will our family have about us, you know? Like, we want to make them proud. We want them to see our hard work. We want them to be inspired by our hard work. We want them to really want to carry on our good example, you know? Like, it's very hard to come from nothing when everyone behind you is telling you it's okay to just be nothing, you know? Like, yeah, it's, you know, we really got to put in the work if you want to change your life. It's the funniest thing because like in my head I'm trying to think of the speaker. That's why I keep on pausing. I'm trying to think of the speaker who's been saying this the last few days as I read it over and over and over. And he says, if you work hard, your life will be easy. But if you live easy, your life will be hard. So either way, like there's going to be some struggle. I believe it's Les Brown. It just hit me. So Les Brown, amazing speaker. But we're going to struggle regardless. There's going to be ups and downs. So why not make these struggles what builds us, as opposed to what weakens us when we're already just being weak to begin with? I would rather put in the work. Well, I've put in the work. I've learned to walk twice. So I'd rather put in the work and the pain now just so I can enjoy it later, as opposed to being lazy now and hoping that things are okay later on, which, you know, that's when we fall apart because the work hasn't been put in now. End of the day, we gotta decide what's more important to us, you know? Like, do we want to fall apart, or do we actually want to enjoy our lives? Do we want to make it count, you know? We're all put here for a reason. Like, you watching this, you're special. Like, there's amazing things inside of you that you are supposed to accomplish. And it's up to you to decide, like, when am I going to do it? How am I going to do it? And what's going to bring me there? And the key to that is you. There's no excuses. There's absolutely no excuses in the whole world. I mean, my sister, she lost the ability to walk when she was a toddler, okay? Doctors told her she'll be gone when she's 16. But she fought, you know? She doubled her life expectancy because she fought. She was stubborn. She was determined to make something of her life, to be there for her family, you know? And same with my mother, like, horrible, like, stage 4 breast cancer. And like, she lost her breast, she went through all the different treatments, and yet she's still pushing through, you know? Like, she still had the smile every day, like, despite all the pain. Like, you're more blessed than most people are, you know? Like, you really got to think about all your blessings. I know we're like, oh, I don't like this mole on my face. Oh, I don't like this on my body. I don't like this at work. I don't like this and that. And, you know, like, we can not like things, but we have the power to change them, you know? That job's not permanent. It will drop you in an instant or replace you if you move on. Like, you can find something better, you know? Like, if you have corrupt friends in your lives, like, they don't have to be there forever. There is loyalty, but there's loyalty to a point. If your circle is pushing you down, you better find a new circle or build a new circle. You know, like, if your family's pushing you down, you know, family's not always blood. I mean, I do have a couple of amazing blood family members, but most of my family is really close friends, and honestly, like, people around the world that I've met over the years. Like, it's crazy how that works out to be, you know. It's so funny because I've been working with my fiance, wife to be, actually in 3 weeks, so we're super stoked with that. But I've really noticed in helping her along as well. Like, it's amazing the changes that take place. Like, we had a talk with our eldest last night, and like, even just the amazing place that her mom's in now, with just the help that we work together and helping and working on each other and helping each other. Like, it's been amazing. It's great when your partner is all about self-improvement as well, you know? Like, you guys can help each other with programs and whatnot and encouragement, and it's, you know, and it's really awesome when your whole circle is that way. And, you know, it's a lot of hard work to get there. You know, sometimes people have to leave our lives, and it hurts sometimes, and sometimes they don't leave so nicely at the same time. I mean, I've had family members who would attack me for years after I've stopped talking to them. And like, really, I mean, that's no reflection on you. That's basically, when someone in your circle is attacking you, it's usually out of spite. They see that you're leveling up, they see that you're improving, and they don't want to put in the work. So instead, they want to hold you down, which makes them feel better because you're still on the same level of them if they hold you down. And we can't really let that happen. You know, I let it happen for years. It wasn't until about 5 years ago when I really started standing up for myself. I'm like, you know what, I'm kind of done with this. Like, I'm done trying and being squashed, and like, I want people around me that will raise me up, you know, that will help me and inspire me. And like, I started off with only a couple of friends, and amazingly, those friends are still right by my side today. But it was the hardest and best change of my life, to be honest with you. Like, you can know hundreds and thousands of people, but how many of them are there to lift you up when you stumble? Like, I'm so blessed now to have so many amazing people in my life. Basically, if you're on my Facebook reading this, or listening to this, you are one of those amazing people that I found or stumbled onto in my life. And it is such a blessing. And, you know, I really hope that this somewhat helps you There's so many struggling in so many ways right now. Like some of them are leaving those bad marriages. Some are looking for that new job. Some are trying to find a better place to live. Like, you know, it does get better if you put in the work. Just keep on looking, keep on, you know, there's so many starting to stutter here. There's so many days when I wanted to quit, when I was learning how to walk again, because it was just so hard every day, just spending hours just trying to move my foot or to shuffle my foot. And like, I wanted to quit so badly. But then I look at my daughter, I'm just like, do I really just want to lay around all the time and never experience like running and playing with her? Like, we really need to reevaluate like what's important to us. We don't need all of these fancy toys, material items, all that kind of thing. Like, what is important to you? What is going to drive you? Like, you need to find that within yourself, you know? Some of it's for kids like myself. Some of it's for, it started off for myself, working hard for my mom. You know, once she passed, I'm just like, well, I have to prove that like her life was worth something, because it was, of course, but in my head, I'm just like, well, I need to attain things for her, you know? And then my sister passed again, like, I need to attain things for her. But it's like, now it's where like, I'm happy that I'm making them proud, you know? And same with my family. Like, I want to inspire them. I want to inspire my kids, you know? And like, what are you going to do? Like, who do you want to inspire? Like, why do you want to change your life, and why are you going to? And when are you going to? End of the day, you've really got to just stomp down, put down your foot, and just get firing out of those gates, get things going for you, because our time's limited. I could be here another 40 years, I could be gone tomorrow. And regardless, like, I'm putting my best foot forward. I'm going to get my books writing. I'm going to get back into bodybuilding. I'm going to get into this public speaking stuff that scares the crap out of me. Luckily, I've only stuttered a couple of times here, but that's good. I'll build on it. And yeah, you know what? I appreciate your guys' time. I appreciate you as people. I appreciate the people that you are and the person that you are, and just, I love your hearts. And I love that, I love and I hope that this speaks to you, and to really get things going for you. You know, like, there's better everything. And I'm not saying for you to, if you like love your spouse and you want, but a better spouse, well, you know, it's different. If someone's bad to you, yes, I believe in moving on if they're treating you wrongly. But if someone's struggling, like, and they're your spouse or someone close, like, work with them. You can help them. When me and Megan both met, we were both messes. Like, we're both good people, but we were messes. But we were dedicated to each other, and we really drove into each other that we're there for each other. We're going to help each other through, and like, that has been the most amazing bond ever. And I want you guys to have that. Like, I don't want you guys to avoid your spouse. I don't want you guys to be bickering about coworkers or things like that. Like, there is better out there. Like, if you don't get along working for someone, start your own business, you know? If your spouse is tearing you down, it's not your spouse. Like, real love is real love. They don't tear you apart. They stand beside you and they raise you up. That being said, I'll cut it short now, because I'm probably running into probably half an hour like last time, like when I first did the videos. Anywho, okay, love you guys. If you guys need anything, reach out to me. You know, I'm there to help as well. I don't have all the answers. I do my best, because I'm just finding my way as well. So have a great evening. Have a great rest of your weekend. And we'll talk to you soon. Love you lots.